I like to refer to as the passage of the whiny, burnt-out minister. The minister who goes to God and says, "Oh, Lord, there's too much work to do, and these stupid people are all lazy, and they won't help me out, and I don't want to do it anymore. Oh, Lord, why have you laid this burden upon me?" And then Moses is so mean to the people. In the text that Sarah read this morning, I think they were very gracious because they used the word wailing. The people were wailing to Moses and complaining. In many other texts, they're a little bit more rough, and they say the people were constantly whining to Moses. "Why are we here? Why can't we go back? And there's too much." And in any case, the whole situation is really, really bleak. Moses can't go on. The people can't go on. They all want to give up and kind of cut back on their mission and go back. And Moses goes to God with this big whiny thing. And God says to Moses, "Moses, for goodness sakes, don't you know that these people that you think are whiny and lazy, really, they are good people. And they want to help, and they want to know what direction they're moving in, and they want to know what their ministry is, and they need someone to point them in the right direction and to say to them, 'I need your help, let's get going.' And if you do that, Moses, those people will come forward, and they are going to come forward because my Spirit is in them. And they are just as capable of leadership as you are." So Moses went out to the people in the midst of all their whining, and instead of saying to them, "How can I help you? What do you want me to do?" he said to those people, "I want a bunch of you to step forward and work harder and give more and do more and become leaders of God's people. And we are not going back to Egypt. We are heading for glory. We are going to the promised land." And when he shared the vision and the mission and the direction with the people, sure enough, they stopped whining. And they came forward and they said, "Yes, Moses, in spite of all the challenges and all the difficulties, we are with you. We see the direction you are leading, and we will go there and we will work for it." God had to point out to Moses that there was a very powerful social network based upon God's love and the presence of God's Spirit in all of those people. A really similar thing happened in the New Testament in the midst of Jesus' ministry when the disciples were trying to share the gospel with everyone, and they got this sense of having too much work to do, and they felt that it was an impossible task, and they said to Jesus, "We can't do it." And they said, "There's all kinds of people out there who are preaching and doing things in your name, but they aren't with us. Why do we have to do so much in a world that will not accept us?" And what Jesus said to the disciples is very similar to what God said to Moses in the desert. He said to them, "Look, you don't understand. All of those people out there are on our side. They aren't our opponents. They aren't our enemies. They are our sisters and brothers. And anyone who is not against us is for us. And you just don't understand how much people want to do my work and my will and love with my love and change the world with my grace." In both cases, you have God saying to the leaders, "I know it looks challenging at times, and I know sometimes you want to turn around and go back and give up, but don't ever turn around. Don't go back. Don't give up. When you feel discouraged and challenged, this is what you do. Tell the people, what the great mission of God is. Tell the people you're going to change the world and change lives and lift people up and invite the people to give more and do more and be more than they ever thought they could be, and then wait and expect an overwhelming response. A response of love and goodness and energy and missionary zeal. And you will receive it. Today, the church isn't much different than it was in the day of Moses or in the day of Jesus. We are faced with endless challenges. Man, oh man, in the year 2009, it is really tough to be the church. Nobody wants the church. There's endless mission to do and we can't do it. There's endless work. And I feel like going to God saying, oh Lord, it's too much. Let's just cut everything back. Let's scale down. Let's forget the great vision of changing the world. And let's just sort of try to survive here. But whenever I do that, I hear the voice of God, perhaps echoing from the deserts down near the base of Sinai. And I hear the voice of Jesus by the shores of Galilee saying to me, Mark, how can you dare say there is too much, or it is too hard, or the life of the church today is impossible? Do you not know that the vision that I shared with Moses and with Jesus is as relevant and modern and powerful and exciting today as it was thousands of years ago? And then I remember the mission of the church. We are going to change the world. We are going to feed the hungry and give water to the poor. We are going to proclaim to those people who have been broken and crushed that there is a God who will lift them up and change their lives and carry them forward. And the nature of human existence upon this whole planet is going to change because of what God has done for us and because of what God does through our lives. We never turn away from the mission, no matter how tough, no matter how hard.